BlacSFA, the Black Lumberjack Alumni Chapter, and official SFA Alumni Association Network.
Hey guys, it's Crystal Holmes, SFA grad of 2013 with BlacSFA. Today we're talking all things love, and I have two special lumberjacks who are ready to love from OWN Network's reality dating show, Ready to Love. And just a little background about them both. Alex was born and raised in Texas, and professionally Alex works in the tech industry as a senior support specialist and using her platform to aspire to becoming an actress. And then Wynter, also a dynamic TV personality, host, speaker, entrepreneur, visionary leader, and published author, a native of Grand Rapids, Michigan, but raised in Houston. She also is the CEO of Wynter Patterson, LLC, and a nonprofit for I Am a Pearl Incorporated, where she helps people heal and understand their value through teaching and transparency. So ladies, thank you so much, you both, for joining me today and just really taking the time out. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having us, for sure.
You're welcome. So we're just going to kind of go to a little few things because, of course, with BlacSFA, we want to definitely highlight and talk on the cultural perspective and just us as people, because we all attended SFA. So I wanted to kind of get you all's thoughts on what it was like, your time at SFA and your experience being there from a cultural perspective, just being on campus, because I know it's different then, different now. So go ahead, share. Wynter, we can start with you if you would like to elaborate.
I had a great time at SFA. I felt like, it wasn't, HBCU like some of my friends attended, but I felt like while I was there, we were close enough and we had such a community amongst the Black people that it felt like a HBCU at times.
It did.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed my experience. I pledged AKA, which was, definitely one of the best choices that I made. And I got a chance to experience Greek life, got a chance to party, did a lot of drinking, but not too much, right?
Yeah.
I still graduated. So.
Right.
But I really, really had a great time, hanging out at the UC and at the Red Lamp Palace. Was that still going on when you got there, Alex? The palace?
No, the Red Lamp Palace? No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. There was a club out, like we had to drive 25 minutes outside of Nacogdoches to this club called the Red Lamp Palace, and that's where we threw all these parties. And girl,
it turned into Caliente, because we had one that was called Caliente.
That might be what it was by the time
I remember Caliente. I do remember Caliente. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So great experience, great education. I got some great friends, and I feel like I got the best of both worlds, a PWI, predominantly white institution, and HBCU all in one.
Yes, most definitely. Alex, how about you?
And yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of Wynter, because I actually agree with how it did feel like an HBCU at times. And actually SFA wasn't even my first choice. I actually wanted to go to an HBCU. I wanted to go to Howard. But my mom was like, them out-of-state fees. She just was not, we just couldn't do it. So she was like, just pick somewhere in state. So I ended up going to SFA. But it was a good time. Like Wynter said, I really, I didn't know really what to expect, because when I did all of my college tours, I did them at HBCUs. So when I got there, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but I ended up really loving it. I met some amazing people. I had till this day, I say SFA was like probably one of the best moments of my life. Like I just had such a good time, but I still, I partied, but we still graduated. But we did do a lot of partying because there was nothing else to do in this small town. So we had to make our own fun. But I think because it was in a small town, that like contributed to the experience being even better, because we didn't have like the big city to go to. We just had to figure out how to make our own fun. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, yes. I could definitely agree with both of you all, because even when I was there, it was, I think for me, just I was involved too as well, and did cross AK as well. So Wynter, yes, I just wanted to say that. But yes, so that was definitely like you all said, just great overall experience, because just even with different organizations like SAA, the Student Activities Association that they had on campus, they still do, but it's like everywhere that I felt like what organization, even orientation, like it was very diverse and you could really kind of find your ground and still, like you said, have your friends and party and all that. But yeah, definitely wouldn't trade it at all, especially during, the time being there. So I kind of also wanted to also piggyback to just even the Black community. We kind of touched on it. So being at SFA for the community standpoint, for us as students, did you all feel like the multicultural affairs or any other programs or things that were on campus helped you feel like feel that inclusiveness being on campus?
I would say yes. So not only did I do, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, so I did the Greek life, but I also was part of the AAUW, American Association of University Women. And there was a lot of brown faces in there when I was there leading that organization. I felt like, we had the Panhellenic Council, we had people, brown people in student government at that time. So I felt like I did feel included. I didn't feel excluded. I feel like, we, at the time that I was there and probably even more after I left, we were, making some ground as far as getting into leadership, getting into, positions, clubs where we, were out front. So I felt like I was very included. I got a chance to experience diversity and I didn't miss anything with my college experience.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I can agree as well. And I think from what I remember, I mean, it was a while ago, but from what I remember, SFA was really, really open as far as when you didn't want to have make a new club or think of something new. They were really open about that. They didn't really try to close us in and make us feel like we couldn't do those types of things. So I feel like we definitely were included, and I was also a part of a few different organizations as well. But yeah, I definitely feel like they did include us for sure.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, I definitely want to get you all's perspective on that too. So now just to transition a little bit into the whole ready to love and just, we're doing all things love here, no drama, nothing like that. So I kind of wanted to just, number one, say for both of you all, because I've been keeping up, I'm all caught up. And I really just enjoy watching the class and I guess like the poise that you all carry within yourselves as women and how you handle yourselves with different situations. Because it's like, of course, there's been little things here and there like throughout the show, but you all have definitely set a standard and set yourselves apart. So I just want to say that as somebody that watches, I very much admire you both and how you both carry yourselves in the show and like throughout the whole time that you all are on. I know it's still going on and we still got a couple more episodes I think left, but I just definitely wanted to say that to you both. And also just even for you, Wynter, just knowing like your whole advocacy on self-love and self-care and just even seeing everything from like the books, because you have 3 books and one coming out, and then talk on the manifestation, meditation, abundance, and having that and how important that is. And so I feel like I see that too, even just in the show, like you kind of give that radiance when you do present yourself and to others, and then how you've handled situations with other women on the show too as well. It's just a grace about that. So I wanted to know, what sparked that self-love journey for you? Like, what was that moment that made you say, I want to take this to a full career journey, to help other women and myself, included. So please tell us about that.
So I think I wrote my first book in 2011, and it was dealing with healing and self-love, and just really helping women to understand that nothing that you've been through changes your value. So that started, and I think it came through me just doing healing and self-discovery and coming out, bad relationships. And I said, how can I take everything that I've learned and give it to the world? So that's when it started in 2011. Then fast forward, I, went through this fairy tale wedding, and, horrific divorce, like fairy tale wedding to horrific divorce. And it became, okay, how can I go deeper? How can I take this, healing process a little bit deeper and give people some things that'll help them to heal through things that you don't expect. So that's kind of, how it started. It's evolved, and God is continuing to add more information. And as I go through therapy and read more books, God is making, giving me more knowledge to share with people that can help them through some of the, hardest things, the unexpected things that we go through in life. And not just relationships, like grief and family issues and dealing with boundaries and childhood trauma. And Alex talked about like going through like abusive relationships on the show. Like all of that is relevant as it relates to self-love. Like you've got to really love on yourself and feed yourself good things, because we go through things in life that sometimes make us forget our value.
Right. And then even too, with affirmations and a sense of gratitude, like through those journeys that we experience, because it's like life, we're tested with different things. And I feel like those tests are a part of our story. And like you said, our healing to get through. And so that was also another thing that I've noticed that you really that you speak profoundly on, is having that sense of gratitude and making sure you do those affirmations. Like I do it to myself, like in the mirror in the mornings. And if I'm not feeling all the way 100%, it's just like, you are beautiful, forget you got all that going on your face. Like, it's okay. Just having that sense of comfort and self-awareness and self-love, like you said, for yourself is very important. And even to you, to Alex, and what Wynter was saying, how you spoke on your relationship too as well. And one thing that I enjoyed too on the last episode was when you really talked on hearing versus listening. And there was a situation that came up and you expressed yourself and you felt like you weren't heard. And so I'm pretty sure all women can attest to having that same experience. So for you personally, like, why is that so important for you to have somebody that is listening versus just hearing you?
Yeah. So just based on, for me, like my past relationships, one thing I always try to do is see, it's always easy for us to point the finger at what the other person did, but I always try to look at myself and figure out, what I could have done better. And even in my past relationships, I felt like I was listening. And my ex, I was engaged at one point, and he told me, sometimes you don't hear me. So that was also speaking from experience, even though I was not on his level of it, but it spoke from experience. So I just feel like when you're always say, in order to really love someone, you have to know how to love them in the way that they need to be loved. And in order to know the way that they need to be loved, you have to actually listen to them and see what their needs are, because everyone needs to be loved differently. So that's really where it stemmed from. Just knowing, like, if I'm going to be with someone, I need them to really hear me and see me for who I am and what it is that I need. And I'm going to reciprocate that. I'm going to give them that as well. But in order for us to be the best versions that we can for our significant other, we have to listen to them and listen to the things that they've been through and listen to the things that they want and they need. That's the only way that you're going to really, not the only way, but that's one of the ways to have a really successful relationship. So that's really where it stemmed from for me.
Yeah, no, definitely agree on that too as well. And for both of you all, this entire experience, what made you all want to say this show? Like, I want to take this opportunity to be a part of this. What was it that stood out about this particular show, or this opportunity in general, to say, I'm going to step out and I'm going to be a part of this, this whole experience, and see if, about being ready to love? Like, how was that decision for you, personally, making that choice?
Well, well, no, you can go.
No. I was gonna say go first, Alex.
Well, for me, I made the choice because one, I feel like I've tried everything that I could have possibly tried it up until this point. So it's kind of like, why not? Why not just try it? And then, doing my research on the show, it wasn't like super drama filled. I mean, there's a little drama, but it's not to the point to where it's like really drama, solely focused on drama. Like they really wanted to focus on you, who you are as a person. How can you match up with someone? How do you guys value the same things, etc.? It really was, we really honed in on that. And I love that about the show. So that's why I chose it, because I'm like, this seems like it's a really good show that is actually where people actually go on there and genuinely want to find love. And so that's why I did it. And like I said, I've tried everything. Well, I haven't done dating apps yet. I'm not there yet, but I've tried basically everything. So I just felt like this was just an opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
Definitely. It's experience. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I pretty much echo those same sentiments. Like, okay, I've tried a lot of things, and I have done the dating apps actually. And it was like, okay, let me try something different. Like maybe for me to find love, it takes, something crazy like a reality show. But I echo Alex's sentiments. Like I wouldn't have done it if it was a show where people are tearing each other down and disrespecting each other and just a lot of drama. I put down my foot very early on in the process and said that I will never, ever tear down a Black woman. I'm here to uplift and empower and find love, and I can do both. So that was, my thing. Like I wanted to be a part of something that I would be proud of, that my kids, or my family could watch and say, okay, she did it, and maybe she found love or maybe not, but she represented the grace and class that she was raised with. So that was important to me.
Exactly. Yeah, and I will say that this show in particular, because I really enjoy, because you see so many different perspectives and you see from both sides how people think and like different things of what either their values are or like how they raise what to them may seem appropriate or right, and for others, that may not know, and it's just kind of learning. And I like that it's very kind of got ground level where it's to where everybody is respectful of each other to a certain degree, and it's not everybody just kind of yelling and just going back and forth or trying to attack somebody, like you said, when they're like trying to come at people negatively in a way where it's like physical. It's something where you can really sit, watch, enjoy, and see like adults really, come together and just like, okay, we're all here for the same purpose and we're trying to find the same thing here. And it's, there's no issues with that. It's all genuine, and I really enjoy that about the show, because it's like like you said, some shows they can take drama to another level, and we don't need all of
it. Right. Yeah, I couldn't be a part of a show where women are like cussing each other out, spitting on each other. Like, no, I wouldn't do it.
I could never.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up here, I did have like a quick little game, nothing too long, that I just kind of wanted to get with you guys. So it's kind of like a speed game. So I'm just gonna say a question, and I want you to kind of just share where in NAC or like at SFA, even looking, if whatever comes to mind when you hear this phrase or these words. What does it make you think of? So I'm gonna go one time. So first, I'll start with you, Wynter. So being at SFA, what would be your top two for a happy hour?
Happy hour of bullfrogs and La Coretta.
La Coretta.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might have been before you
got.
No, she had La Coretta.
La Coretta was there, and then Bullfrogs too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now it might be gone. I think they changed Bullfrogs. Last time I went, I was like, where is it? What about you, Alex?
We didn't really do happy hour that much, but if I had to choose, At least not when I was there. When I left, because I actually was only there for 3 years and I left for my senior year. But when I was there, I mean, when I left, I heard they did build something else. I would say bullfrogs.
Yeah.
If I could choose. I wonder if they built something else after I left that was better than bullfrogs, and I was so jealous.
I still have one of the glasses. I don't know if y'all have like the little souvenir glass. I still have mine from All right, so Alex, start with your next one. So top 2 places to party.
Ooh, Caliente, and what was the other one? Oh my God. It was Caliente, and then what was the other one that was also out there? We had to drive.
Castillo.
Castillo, there we go. Caliente, Castillo. Those are my 2 faves. Woo, that's some nights there, boy. Okay.
Right. Exactly. What about you, Wynter?
I would say the Palace, which is what it was called when I was there. And then when I was,
It was
it the Golden Palace?
It was called the Red Land Palace.
Oh, the Red Land Palace. No, okay.
Yeah. So that place, and then when I was there, the Kappas owned a big house on the end of the street, like one street. 3 Kappas lived there, and they would throw parties, and they would serve this trash can punch. And yeah, we don't remember much, but we had a great time.
Yeah, so those are good. Okay, so where to date? Like a date night. If you were out in that, where would that be?
Cheddar's.
I don't remember dating that much in NAC. I remember like just chilling at people's houses because no one had any money when I was in school.
We didn't have no money either. No, but we used to go to Cheddar's though, because Cheddar's was in Lufkin, so we would go there.
Yeah, Cheddar's. That was a spot.
Okay, well, we would go to Chili's when we got our difference checks and we had a little bit extra money. We would go to Chili's.
And that is still there. Okay, and then the last one, and this is more of a calming. So what would be the top 2 ways that you would show self-love?
For me, it would be probably daily affirmations, affirming myself, speaking life over, the positive parts of my life, and, redirecting some of the negative sides of my life. So affirmations is a big part. And then daily meditation. Like, it's one thing to pray. I think we understand prayer and we got that down, especially Black people. We know how to pray. But meditation is really an art of getting silent and letting God speak to you. And I think if you do that on a daily basis, you can start to really appreciate your value and how you are created.
And I have to agree. Meditation. I'm the type that I like to sometimes just sit in my room and just put on gospel music in the dark and just listen to it. Mm-hmm. I think that's just my me time, just to have like a woosah moment from the day. I don't do it every day, as I know that I probably should, but I do it enough throughout the week to just kind of let me have my moment. And then I would also say working out. I've had moments where I've fallen off of it, but I really feel like when you're confident in yourself and you feel good about yourself, and I know it's not always about physical, because working out can also help with mental as well. So I feel like working out really does. When I find myself when I work out, I'm just a lot happier. I'm more just confident in myself, and I just feel better about myself. So I would say those 2.
Oh yeah, definitely a calming vibe. I know.
It is.
Like I would be at the gym and I would just run sometimes on the treadmill. Mm-hmm. It's a good stress reliever. It's like after that I'm like, ooh.
I know, it's just release. No, it's just endorphins and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just a release, and then doing yoga for my it's like a calming, and just a sense of self too, and self-awareness. So yeah. And then also lastly, ladies, can you just share your social platforms as well so that way everybody can follow you guys?
I'm very easy to find. I'm Wynter Patterson on everything. Wynter with the Y, WYNTER PATTERSON. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
So IG, I'm _ Allie ALLY Johnson _, and then Twitter, same thing. It's just 2 underscores on the ends.
you know, you guys, I thank you. Thank you so much again for taking the time out to be with me today. Again, we are looking forward to just, again, sharing this with you. And then also to our BlacSFA network, thank you for joining us as well. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at BlacSFA. And as always, ask some Jacks.
BlacSFA, the Black Lumberjack Alumni Chapter, an official SFA Alumni Association network.